Lesson 7.8. Our outcome for this lesson will be we will write and graph an inequality with two variables. It's going to be awesome. If math wasn't cool enough already, it's getting really good. This is good algebra stuff. All right, you ready? Here we go. So first things first, we need to remember that our symbols for an inequality. An inequality is not an equal sign. Please remember that. Greater than or less than, so we have those two symbols, and then we have greater than or equal to and less than or equal to, which I actually have the words backwards. This one's less than or equal to, and this one is greater than or equal to. The way you can remember that is you hold up your left hand, it makes an L, okay, like loser. L is less than. So this one is less than, and this one is less than, okay? We also needed to recall from when we graphed our inequalities on a number line, which one got the open circle? This one or this one? This one. This one got the open circle. So I'm going to put that right there because we did not want to include the number that it was on, okay? So this one got the closed circle, okay? Now, since we're going to not be doing this on a number line anymore, we're going to be doing it on the coordinate plane, we need lines. So here we have two options. We have dotted line and we have solid line, okay? Which one of these do you think gets the dotted line? That's right, the one with the open circle, because we do not want to include any points that fall along that line, okay? Now, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, we wanted to include that point. And what I mean by that is if we had, let's see here, x is greater than or equal to 4, well, we would know that 4 could be a solution because it had that equal to part. So we wanted to include it, which is why it had this black dot. So I just wanted to make sure we remember that. It's going to get the solid line, which means we're going to want to include any point that falls on this line. They will all be solutions to our inequality, okay? So now instead of just circles, we have lines. Let me get the correct tool. Here we go. All right, ready? Here we go. How would you graph this? 5x plus 8y equals 2,000, okay? Now, is this an inequality? No, it's an equation because it has an equal sign. Now, you know how to graph this, and there are a couple different ways, okay? I want to start off with what form is this one in? Good. I hope you said standard form. This is standard form. So we could change this to slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? So I want you to take a moment. I want you to do that because we can't forget how to do that. That's a very important skill. Change the standard form into slope-intercept form. I'm going to reveal this behind door number 2. There it is. Look at all that work. We did minus 5x, brought down the 8y, divided by 8 on all sides. Show you some canceling here. That canceled. We canceled with our 8s, divided by 8. Oh my goodness, we ended up with a fraction here, and then we ended up with a whole number here. So when we did that, now, we could graph this from here. What does the m stand for? Our slope. And what was the b? It was our y-intercept. So I'm just going to quickly sketch a graph. This is not going to be anything pretty. Okay, there's my coordinate plane. Let me get a different color here. I know that my y-intercept is going to be at 250. I'm going to pretend that that's 250. Okay. What does my slope tell me? It tells me rise over run. I have to go down 5, 3, 4, 5, and over 8. I'm going to say that's going to be somewhere over here. And there's my line. Okay. Not pretty at all. I totally missed that point. Okay. But I could graph it changing the standard form into slope-intercept form, okay? If I went through that too fast, you need to pause and rewind, okay? Because I'm moving on. Now, there's an easier way. We could find the intercepts, okay? We only need 2 points to graph this thing, so let's find the intercepts. Well, if I want the y-intercept, what does x have to be? Yeah, it has to be 0. And when I'm looking for the x-intercept, what does y have to be? It has to be 0. So while I get situated here, I want you to pause and find those intercepts. Okay? Y-intercept. Here we go. Plugged in 0 for x. You can pause and take a minute and admire all that work. My y-intercept is 250. X-intercept. Plugged in 0 for y. Again, pause. Go through all the work. My x-intercept is 400. So if I wanted to quickly graph this one, might be a little prettier this time. Let's pick a different color. Here we go. Y-intercept 250. I'm going to pretend that's up here somewhere. X-intercept is 400. Ooh, that's way over here. I can connect the dots. And looky there. I have my line. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, but finding those intercepts seemed a little bit easier than doing all this. Okay? I mean, either way, you're going to get the same answer. But finding the intercepts is pretty easy. Plug in 0. Alright, now, I didn't lie to you. These are equations. And what did I say today's topic was about? Inequalities. Okay? So, now that we know how to do that with an equation, how would we do it when we change the symbol and we make it an inequality? What can we transfer what we know about linear equations to linear equalities? How could we graph this? I hope you're saying find the intercepts, okay? Because that, I like that way much better. So find those intercepts. We're going to pause it, and you're going to find those intercepts. Now, I'm hoping that only about 30 seconds went by because you realized, oh, Miss Sargent, those are the same intercepts as the page before. All you did was change the sign. Well, here they are. Now, instead of y equaling 250, y has to be greater than or equal to 250. Okay? So, why don't you give me a number that's going to make that true? What's a number that's bigger than 250? Yeah, 300, 301, 1001 if you want to get crazy. Okay? You found the x-intercepts. Same thing. Give me a number that is, now x has to be greater than or equal to 400. Now, you could pick 400, but I'm asking you to pick something maybe like 500. Okay? Go in a little bit. Alright, so now we've found our intercepts. Can we graph it from this? Yes, we can. So, here we go. You do not need to copy this whole graph, but you do need to give yourself a sketch. And I'm going to be looking for a sketch of this graph because this is the meat and cheese of this lesson, okay? You know how to graph an equation, but you don't know how to graph an inequality until now, okay? So if you don't have this graph, your notes are not complete. So sketch it. Cars washed, number of t-shirts sold, okay? We just put a context to the numbers that I was giving you. All right, we found our intercepts. We know that there's an intercept over here at 240, okay? Let me make that a little brighter so you can see it. Line style, red, okay. And then we're going to clone that thing because we also had another intercept over here at 400. Now, I've got a big blue box behind here because it's going to reveal what your final graph looks like. If you recall, greater than or equal to, is that a solid line or a dotted line? Yes, it is a solid line because of this symbol right here. Okay? That makes it a solid line. So when we graph it, we are going to have a solid line. But this says greater than or equal to. So when we go back, my y values, I can have anything bigger than 250. So let me show you what the final product looks like. Here it is. Look at that. I have my intercepts, my y-intercept and my x-intercept. I have a solid line connecting the two. And look at this. I said y could be 300. Recall that? Look, y could equal 300. Go here. Is y equals 300? Is that shaded in? Could that be a solution? Yes, it is. Now, go back to, here. X could be greater than or equal to 500. Well, look here. 500 is going to be over here somewhere. Is that going to be in the shaded region? Yes. So with an inequality, you can shade them. You have a shaded region. Everything above this line is going to make this true. Now here's your little assignment for tomorrow. I want you to pick any point up here and plug it in. Does it work? Okay? Does it work? Here, look at that. Justify your answer. I already knew what I wanted. Pick a point in the shaded region to test it. Does it work? Now, I've done one for you, so don't you dare copy my example. Pick your own. Okay? I picked from this region, what did I pick? Oops. Delete. I picked 120, 200. Okay? So let's see. 120, 200. Oh, I picked this point right here. He's in the pink. So should it work? Yes, it should. So here we go. I plug in x is 120, so I put that in for x. 200, I put in for y. I did all my math. 2200 is indeed greater than or equal to 2000. Yes, I did it correctly. Now, actually, I'm going to change your assignment a little bit, okay? Because I know you haven't done it yet. I want you to pick the point 0, 0. I want you to test that and see if it works. Should it be shaded or should it not be? It's not shaded on our graph, so should it work? No. Your answer should be less than 2,000. I want you to check it and see, because it's pretty cool how it works out. Okay? Take a moment. That's the end of this video. If you had any issues, you need to replay it, because the next video, we're not doing one line, we're doing two. Okay?